Hello, Virgo North Node. This is Samara, your feminist alchemist. Welcome to your reading for the April 30th new moon. So this reading will be from April 30th to May 29th, just before the next new moon. This is a general reading, so the messages may not resonate with everybody. Just take what strikes a chord with you and let the rest float away on a cloud of fairy dust to whoever else in your Virgo North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. If you're feeling this reading, give it a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I upload. This is a North Node reading. It is not for any other major placement, so not sun sign, moon sign, rising, or Venus. Only your North Node. If you're not sure what your North Node sign is, feel free to check out my website. I've put the link in the description box below to the North Node chart where you can check out the placement of the North Node over the last, I don't know how many years I put on there, 80 or 100 years. So you should be able to locate your North Node sign that way. Alternatively, you can run your birth chart, and I've also put a link in the description box to a free birth chart generator. So the North Node, if you are unfamiliar with it, is a mathematical point in your birth chart that signifies your source of soul expansion in this lifetime. I have a short video that covers the general meaning of the North Node as I've been guided to understand it. Plus, you can check out the specifics of your North Node sign, explained in depth by YouTube astrologer Astro Finesse. I've posted both of those links in the description box as well. So let's get started with your reading. If this is your first time at my channel, welcome. We are going to go through, I think I have 7 decks here. So we start with the universal energy, then we go 5D, then we go 3D, and then we look at how to bridge the 3D with the 5D. This month I am pulling some cards to also determine your soul's purpose. So remember, this is general, so it will be something that you all have in common that are drawn to this reading today. And then I'll pull some final oracles. So that is my quick preamble of what this reading will consist of. I free shuffled and meditated on your cards, and I opened the space. There are a lot of beings hanging about, and I'm like, part of me is like, maybe they're just coming to hang out, and I don't know who's got the messages, but we'll find out where the messages will come from today. I am starting with the So I'm using a different deck. If you're used to my readings, I usually start with Path of the Soul by Cheryl Lee Harnish. I've switched it up to Return of Spirit by Cheryl Lee Harnish, which is what me and my guides decided would be the better option for the current energies. As every time I do these readings, I sit down and take time with my guides to decide which decks will be the best to communicate the messages that they have, and to saying the best filter for the energies. So I'm just going to get all 4 of our opening cards, and then I'll show you what they are. So we have Change of Mind, Right, Violet Flame, and Up. So 2 of these cards your mirror sign had. So lucky you, Virgo North Node. I decided to do the readings I usually go from Aries. Like I start at the beginning of the zodiac. and do the pairings from there. But I found, Virgo Pisces always end up getting their reading late, get the short end of the stick. So it's like, let's give them. I'm going to read for you first this time so that you can get your readings before the month starts. Yes, so I read for Aquarius already, not Aquarius, Pisces. I read for Pisces already, and they also had the up card and the right card in their readings, which is not uncommon when I do, the North Node, South Node pairings. A lot of the cards show up again, but just in a different constellation. So with change of mind, I'm seeing that, you have the possibility right now to change direction of your life. And this being, they're saying to me that, one of the very specific reasons that the Return of Spirit deck came as the first deck to use is because a lot of us are returning. We are thinking in terms of expansion and ascension, but that process is actually an inward looking process because it's a deeper alignment with the true nature of your soul, as opposed to defining your success by external factors, or the influence of external opinions, what people think that you should do, what people believe success is. You're going to start defining that for yourself, and that means you got to change your perspective. So part of this is like literally changing direction in your life, and another part is just changing your perspective. Right is quite clear. It's pretty straightforward. There could be a lot of progress by you documenting your process of growth, documenting your thoughts, or taking on writing projects in which your true, authentic opinions and thoughts and feelings are able to come out. Because the violet flame is offering an energy of transmuting things that you have not quite processed yet. So here is a whole energy of processing out some thoughts, beliefs, behaviors that need to go in order for this to happen, which is up. Now they're giving me, sometimes they give me things that I'm uncomfortable with saying out loud, but I'll say it out loud. So this kind of looks like a penis. And they're pointing me to the creative power of masculine energy. And it being directed somewhere where it will fertilize and turn into something and like really be able to manifest. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to clean up what they said a little bit. So this is an energy of focusing your energy in the right direction. And this is like your change of perspective and transmuting some things. Some of the things that need to be transmuted are because they're sucking up energy. And I don't know why they want me to say that phrase, but there's... Okay, I'll just say it. You're shooting your wad in like the wrong direction, or on things that have no basis, no potential for growth. So, a cleaner summary is that your energy is going into places that are non-productive. And so this is about directing your energy in a place that is productive. And that requires you to be able to see your environment, your circumstances, for what it truly is at the moment. But anyway, this is the universal energies. I'm going to look at what your higher self wants to give you in terms of direction, concrete kind of places in life that you can, or vibrations that you can look at for your personal growth. So we have joy. This is the Sacred Geometry Activations, and Sacred Geometry of Relationships by Lon. Sorry, I gotta move my chair. And I mix both stacks together. Both decks together into one stack, rather, is what I should say. And this is kind of, both of these, guidance from your higher self. Things for you, themes in your soul's vibe are in your, they're giving me words again. So, energies in your auric field that need to be addressed so that you may move forward with your expansion and live a more soul-led life. I think they want that one too, so let's go there. Okay, I think I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. Okay, that's a bit better. So I just wanted it to be a bit higher up so that you can possibly see the words better. Yeah. So we have joy, we have discernment, forgiveness, perception, prosperity, communication, and kindness. So you have 7 cards. I usually take 6, but that's all good. I just had a very distinct scent hit my nose. What was that? Essential oil. They'll let me know if that means something. So, well, the first thing that came out when I got the change of mind card for your first card was that you're doing things that don't seem to bring you true joy. So your intentions behind your impetus for doing things is not in alignment with your joy. And that, as we're coming to, like, there was perhaps decades, centuries of time where that was not the main focus of humanity. But as we are growing and learning more about ourselves, our nature, the nature of manifestation, joy is like the essential building block of any, I don't want to say worthwhile manifestation, but any manifestation that truly feels fulfilling to you. If it's not based in your joy, then why are you building it, right? Even if the joy is a longer trajectory, like a big picture trajectory, still your everyday, the small things you do from day to day are connected to that perspective, that higher perspective, that bigger picture in which joy played a pivotal part in painting. That was a lot of peace. But discernment, you may be taking on more than what you need to take on. And it's coming across as not just physical tasks or, things to do in the world, but taking on other people's emotions and other people's problems as your own. Taking on other people's opinions as something that you have to care about So the discernment has also an energy of detachment in this case. And this discernment will lead you to forgiveness, because I'm getting also you need to be able to see some situations in life for what they are in. We create our world. We're all closet narcissists. And it's not in a negative way. I'm being very neutral about saying that, we can't help but be the center of our own universe. We are creating the world around us. Everything, we affect things and things affect us. Like, that's the perspective that we live in, for the most part. And so stepping out of that and understanding that people have their own, depth of story and reason for being in a certain mood someday, a reason for wearing what they wear when they wake up in the morning, reasons for, they have their whole inner world that's just as complex as your inner world. And sometimes we forget that when we are looking at our interactions and how we've been treated by people or how relationships played out. Sometimes we forget that the people, we make people very flat. Here's a list of their characteristics, as a way of easily placing responsibility or blame on somebody. But when we give them more dimensions, now that doesn't mean that we find it okay what they did or how things turned out. It just means that we don't, like, they're showing me, you don't allow the cord to be formed. It does not become a part of your energy field. And when it becomes a part of your field, that is where the miracle and the magic of forgiveness is necessary. And this is why we should all be practicing forgiveness, because it's simply allowing a negative experience to, they want me to correct that, perceived negative experience, to detach yourself from it so that it no longer affects your vibration and affects what you bring into your life. Right? Or affects what you bring into your life, how you act in the world, and therefore what you bring into your life and what you encounter. Forgiveness is letting go of that burden of having to relive that sadness, that disappointment, that pain, that anger, whatever, right? So you do have all on this side with change of mind and where you're placing your energy is all this discernment, forgiveness, and perception corner of looking at situations that you've been through within a different light and honestly, creating a story, telling the story in a way where you come out the hero or heroine, however you want to put it, because your perception of these experiences are also creating an environment that is kind of imprisoning to your energy, and to your ability to create prosperity. Because around the violet flame here, I have prosperity, communication, and kindness. And you're being asked to define your own, to look at how you define prosperity, how you define success, and making sure that it's not just material, and making sure that it has a hefty inclusion of your own joy, regardless of what that is, regardless of what anyone thinks that should be, and regardless of what you think is true or possible, or you need to go outside of the box there in your thinking. There's a relationship that needs to be healed. You need to release somebody from this anger. Okay, I have that some of you have your energy tied up in making someone pay for what they've done to you. And you seem to make them pay over and over again. But it's imprisoning you just as much as it's imprisoning them. So right could be if you have the ability to write them a letter. So if they've passed on, you could write a letter to them, and they're showing me it actually going in the mail. So if whether the person is living or not, if you do decide to write a letter to clear the air, you should mail it somewhere. They're showing me that. Mail it to the ocean, mail it to their home country if they're not, or their hometown, and just just let it go out there and somehow be transmuted. Otherwise, they usually would show me it burning, but it's not burning. They're showing me an envelope with a stamp on it. So there is some communication necessary. There is some you being the bigger person that's necessary, and not for. There's some of you where this relationship really could be a very supportive energy in your life, but you don't allow it to be because you're angry at them for something, whether you've spoken to them about it or not. And there's some of you, Yes, I'm getting that they wanted me to go back to this thought that they gave me just before I went down that road. Sometimes when we rebel or are fiercely independent, it's rebelling against, we don't want to give someone the satisfaction of something. Like if someone is very conservative and always insulted you for how you dress, you may play it up even more, even though after a certain amount of time you were out of that phase. It no longer resonated with you. And it had nothing to do with, but because you know that they're going to say, oh, it's nice that you cleaned up your ways, you don't bother do it, even though that way of dressing does not resonate with you anymore. And not because of anything coming to your senses or whatever. It's just that, maybe your lifestyle changed, you evolved as a person and you changed. But you know that this person will say something, small-minded / judgmental about it. And so you don't want to give them that satisfaction. So you keep yourself stuck for that reason. And this is, you need to release yourself as well from that, and acknowledge that if someone is not able to see you in your full complexity, that they are also, this is where the forgiveness and the kindness comes in, because what people project onto you, they also do to themselves. So if someone is doubting your abilities or not believing in, or putting limiting beliefs on you or being overly critical of you, that person does the same thing to themselves, and they're trapped within their own confines of that in their mind, which they probably do 10 times worse to themselves than they do to you, right? So that's where this kindness and forgiveness comes in, finding a way to coexist with people who are at a different place on their path without it disturbing your inner joy and your ideas of what a successful and happy life looks like. I'm going to look at your 3D situation. This is the Star Child Tarot. I just took I don't know why, Tarot. Sometimes I switch it up. But anyway, Star Child Tarot by Danielle Noel. I just took out the major arcana and the few bonus cards that are in this deck to see what is happening in your tangible 3D reality that is presenting itself as opportunities for growth. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune, Strength, Serenity, which is the Hermit card. What do we have here? And the Moon. Do you want these ones? Yeah. I'm just having a discussion here about how the cards should be laid. So these two came out together. They want it like that. This goes here. This goes here. And these two go here. The Universe and the Chariot. So let's start up here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Strength cards. So I'm seeing that you have in your physical reality right now, it seems that you have a lot of choices of which direction you could go, and I shouldn't say a lot. You have a significant opportunity to decide who you want to be in life and how you want to move through life. And it is it's kind of a predestined moment for you. Because this moon that's coming up is a partial eclipse, I do believe, which brings a lot of energies with it for, it totally amplifies the new moon energy, right? So if you want to turn over a new leaf, now is a great time to do so. If you want to leave the past in the past, now is going to be a great time to do that as well. And the universe is presenting that opportunity, and you may be seeing in your physical reality opportunities to make changes in your life that are more aligned with your joy than anything else. However, there are feelings coming to the surface that also are coming up for clearing. So some of the discomfort that you have about changing directions is coming from something that needs to be cleared out of your field. And this is why you have then the Serenity card of finding inner peace. You seem to be really concerned with finding inner peace, even though you may not put those words to it. But like I heard, I just want to be happy. I just want to be healthy. I just want to be fill in the blank. This feeling of wanting your life to be more simple, and there to be more clarity. Also a reason why you could write and journal. There's a few layers to this right card that's in the corner here, but yeah. The Moon card, you may have already started to investigate, like, really your inner motivations. With perception and prosperity next to each other. And the moon, it's like, if you look, so in the month of May, you will have signs of exactly what's going on in your internal world happening on the outside. And you'll ask yourself, why did I create this in the first place? Or why did I think that this would be fulfilling to me? But they're coming up to show you that you created this idea of prosperity not based on what truly drives you or what truly will make you happy and fulfilled. The true alignment and vibration of your soul. And as long as you don't have that, you won't feel fully fulfilled, and you'll keep looking to the external world for solutions. But the solution is in you being true to what is inside of you. And that is where you have the universe and the Chariot. You'll find that in May, that this chapter is ending, you see her crown chakra is very lit up. And I was getting that vibe the past couple days with regards to the new moon coming up. There is some of that serenity is also, why don't you ask your guides, your guardian angel, the universe, to show you what it thinks is, the best course of action for you, or the ideal living situation, or, they're saying, show me the truth of what I feel, without the rationalizations, without going back to, but I used to dream about this, dream about that. No, let's talk about what I feel right now. And I need to honor that so that I can assess how aligned or out of alignment I am with my true self. Once that happens, I do get that it's, this is like a wild horse. It's a wild unicorn, even. This is even better. Your divine team is going to come in to make this change in you swiftly. So this healing may happen very quickly, especially once you've sunken into the opportunities that the energy is offering you, like what the energy is really offering you. And because sometimes it doesn't take knowing, it takes the willingness to see and the willingness to transform. And as soon as you open up and say, show me, it will be shown to you. May take some time. It's more like, it's not going to take them time to communicate it to you. It takes you time to recognize it, depending on how developed your intuition is and how much time you put into like those activities where you are just quiet and with yourself. So if you don't have a lot of time to meditate, or you don't make a practice of understanding your dreams, or you're not looking around for synchronicities, if you throw yourself into a busy lifestyle, like all of those messages are going to pass you by. So this is why serenity is so important, because there is a lot coming in for you in the month of May from your guides. So I'm just going to ask them, how are you going to navigate this energy, or how should you? What is their advice for navigating this energy? Oh, you got some. So we have the Tower in reverse, the Emperor in reverse. You got the Star. I like the Star card. It's probably my favorite card in the deck ever. Always in any given deck. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune again, and the Six of Cups. Okay, so it comes up again. That relationship I'm talking about, it comes up again here in your what to do cards. The Tower in reverse. Don't resist the realizations. But I'm also getting that it's not necessary for you to blow up your life, and they say that there's a fear that if you change the way you see things, that your foundation will be shaken, and you won't be able, have a foot to stand on, have a leg to stand on, that you'll feel lost, that you'll lose yourself because you've come to identify with some of these things in your life, but too strongly. And the Strength card underneath is also saying, you are both the lion and the lamb. It's about accepting that you're both. So that is, for me, also, it alludes to shadow work and embracing the shadow. But the Tower in reverse is don't be afraid of shaking things up. It's not going to be, there's a shift, there's the ability, there's the possibility for shift. It won't be as dramatic as your fears make you believe that it will be. Your inner world can change quickly, but your outer world will still take a little bit more time. And I'm getting that, okay, let's go around, but be careful of when you look back at these situations to change your mind and your perspective about them. There is the possibility that old feelings, especially anger, are going to come up, and they don't want you to internalize them. But they also don't want you to go out and, act too rashly. So it's about balance, the lion and the lamb, the inner world and the outer world. With the Emperor in reverse, I see that at the same time as, okay, I'm getting the impression here. So Virgo North Node is a very stable kind of sign, earthy and grounded. People depend on them. And Pisces South Node, which is what you are as well, very much goes with the flow. And doesn't necessarily create waves, it goes with the waves, you know. It's almost like a master at diplomacy. And because they always show me that the fish has scales. It's not like the other two water signs, like the Cancer and Scorpio, who both have shells and ways of defending themselves. The Pisces South Node, or Pisces' way of kind of defending and protecting itself, is the way it swims. It's navigating. It's its ability to outrun the predator, right, and outmaneuver the predator, But in this case, I'm seeing that you have a history of maneuvering your emotions in order to fit the situation, which leaves you resentful, unhappy, unfulfilled. And the Emperor in reverse is saying, be willing to leave that position of where everybody else's wealth, health, and happiness matters. Not that it doesn't matter, you don't have to poo-poo on it, but the point is you need to prioritize yours. And take out some of the where you're spreading your energy thin. There's too many variables in your thought process. So you're taking too many people's opinions, too many, oh, but they're going to think this. Oh, but then this is going to happen. Oh, but then no one will have that. You're taking all of these other criteria into account that doesn't serve you and is not yours, not your burden to shoulder, we're saying. So this is the energy of shooting your wad in the wrong places. Like your energy is spread over analysis paralysis, over analytical thinking. The star card is saying that. I love how you got the moon and then the star. The star for me is hidden talents. But in this case, well, they're saying, yeah, it's also that. They want you to connect some of the things that you're naturally good at, even if it's just a game, right? As we said, we're not trying to blow up your life here. Think of all the things that you love and that are good at, and make a list of, I'm good at this, and these are all of the ways that I can create prosperity from doing that thing that I'm good at and that I like doing. I'm passionate about this, and these are all of the things that I can build off of that. I still have that book. I had a book that was about how to build a creative career. And that was one of the exercises. It was like, okay, you love to write. So write is here. So let's talk about that one. You love to write. Now, people tend to automatically discount writing as, I was told people have to like what you do in order for you to make money. So it's not the best career choice. They only think of maybe novelists or journalists. But there's writers who do lots of other things, marketing, content creation, blog writing, blah, blah, blah. So one of the exercises in this book was to take writing and, go online and do as much research as you can and find all of the careers that are possible that involve writing or that are based on writing. And I remember that when I did a list based on, like when I did that exercise, the amount of careers that showed up for my chosen talent was like, it filled the whole page. There was a whole page of possible careers. And so it's like, you don't have to, part of dreaming and manifesting is seeing everything that is possible, changing your perspective, opening yourself up to possibilities, and burning away any doubts that automatically this type of talent is, not suitable for a career path. Half of us probably never think about who designs the patterns on our sheets and towels and bed coverings. When you go to stores and buy home decor items, who designs lamps, and what type of education do they have and where did their creative spark begin, right? So we have in our environment, we kind of take for granted the type of passion, the type of people that really go into making all of these things that we enjoy in life. Tarot cards, what's that whole process? Who's really involved in all that? And what type of decisions did they have to make for their life in order for these cards to, come from their mind and onto my table for you guys to enjoy a reading, So it's about here, prosperity. How can you build prosperity off of your star? And I love the way that the kind of these colors are very similar in the star and the prosperity card. I think I'm rambling on a little bit. I'm looking at the time like, I need to move on to the next one. So, Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Cups. So you have the Wheel of Fortune again. And these two cards are also very similar. You have like this dream weaving, this web here, and you have the roots. And this is all coming by your transmutation corner here and healing up this past relationship for some of you. I feel like majority of you, who among us does not have a past relationship that needs to be healed with someone living or passed on, right? Okay, let me get to this here. If you're holding on to resentment, you need to let it go. Kindness to yourself and kindness to the other person, even if they don't necessarily deserve it in your mind, because your emotional balance depends on it. And your emotional balance is what's going to write the next chapter of your life. So your ability to, I'm getting on one side of the tree, here's the past, here's the future, and this is the present. And in this present moment is where you're creating, everything that is tangible in your life, right? And if either side loses a cup, the tree will be unstable. This is what they're showing me. And they're saying that the kindness in the past, shedding kindness on a past version of yourself as well allows you to show yourself kindness now, and that kindness will lead into the future. So don't resist. Once again, it's saying that this is like you need to take advantage of this predestined time to clear up some ish that is holding you back. They're telling me that the Wheel of Fortune can basically, especially the way it's interpreted in this picture, you could interpret it in two different ways. Like if someone saw this picture without the name on it, they could say this is a web of trappings, right? You get tangled, you get confused. And other people will see that, that's colorful. It's the weave of life. It's all of the different paths and experiences that we've had interwoven into one, big existence, one grand existence. So you can see things how you want to see things, and how you see things will affect the roots of your manifestations and your emotional balance, right? I'm going to move on to I didn't say what this one is. So this one was the Wild Unknown Tarot. And now I'm going to use that was by Kim Krantz, Wild Unknown. All of these decks are linked in the description box as affiliate links. And this is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. And I'm going to use that to see if I can get a little bit of information on your life path or your soul's purpose that is informing your life. Well, always. But this is a little glimpse into it that will help you in the month of May. So you have the Temperance card first and foremost. And in the Temperance card, he's balancing the sun and the moon. Masculine and feminine energy. Heaven and earth. The divine. And our, human physical actions that help things manifest into being. The Nine of Cups. The Fool. Okay, I'm getting very excited for you, but I'm going to hold until I get the final card here. Virgo, North Node. Queen of Wands, and I feel like I gotta put something else there. There it is. Okay, which way is this going? This way. Five of Cups in reverse. Woo! Okay. So, all right. So what I see out of all of these cards here. So we have with the Temperance card, I'm seeing co-create, like having much more connection and faith in the divine, and that seeing I know people don't like to hear this. Seeing life as a collection of lessons. Being able to step back from the ego's experience of life and really understand your soul's experience of life. This is the sun and the moon, and understanding the balance of, yes, you came with an ego to help navigate through this 3D realm, It's not all love, peace, and hair grease. There's people you can't trust. People lie. There's a lot of challenges to contend with. So your ego is not an evil thing, right? And it's not something you need to rid yourself of completely. However, there is a balance between understanding your ego as a tool and really identifying with your ego. And here you are meant to realize your own divinity and partner with the divine, who is not in the physical realm at this time, or not in a physical body, for your peace and well-being. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, great happiness. And here the right card is coming to me like, let's get out of writing as an actual physical task and a career and put it to writing your own story. This is what I said in the beginning, being the hero of your own story. Like, write a story where you get everything that you want and that you need. That requires you knowing what it is, right? But these ones are about your soul's, like why your soul came here in the first place. So co-creating with spirit in a balanced manner between the physical realm and the etheric, between what you do in your human body and what you achieve as your higher soul self in connection with your higher guides and your angels. Here is where you write that wonderful story, and where you have everything. And that doesn't mean in the stories there's not goblins, and I don't know if goblins are actually negative, but anyway, I don't know a lot about goblins, so let's skip that part. But there's challenges, right? There's moments of there's no good story is without its twists and turns, right? If you really look at how a book is written and you say, oh, that was a great book, or oh, that was a great movie. Is a movie interesting if it's just happy all the time? No, there has to be a challenge. There has to be, a conflict of some sort. There has to be a tension point for that joy at the end, for the happy ending to really get that emotional response, right? And that is part of what you're learning and navigating as a soul in this lifetime. The Fool card is about, and you're holding a purple crystal, likely an amethyst, which is so appropriate for the violet flame. So, your part of your purpose is to keep creating, keep transmuting, and creating anew from places that seem like, there's no way out. And this, for me, reflects back on this supposed conflict that you may have here that needs to be addressed, that has been a long-standing kind of, you've reached a stalemate, a conflict that feels like it has no resolution. You can start anew anyway simply because you've decided to. That is the type of power that you have. And as a Virgo North Node, they're telling me, like, you have the ability to create a place for nurturing simply by the will to create it. Your will to create it. And everything else will fall into line. Once again, you're not blowing up your life as much as you're just realigning your spirit so that everything else can fall into line to meet you. And this is where the Queen of Wands, in the up section here, the Queen of Wands is saying, look, she's so happy and about creating. She's got her kitty who helps her do her magic. And she's very clear about what she creates and why. The Queen is as connected to the masculine creative force as she is to the feminine divine impetus for creation. and creating from a space of intuitively knowing what to create. She's very much in touch with her motivations for creating. And she is in love with her own power of creation and always in awe of her own power of creation. Like every time she creates something, she doesn't say, yeah, okay, I created that again. Great. Everything she creates is wondrous to her. And that to me is also giving me the energy of, with all these little candles, like you have to be able to also look at your life and see all of the little lights that you've created just by being yourself, just by being in a certain environment. And just by being you. Like maybe your home is a really awesome place to be and people always compliment you on how nice, like how relaxed they feel when they come to your house, right? Or maybe you created an office space where you work super efficient, and you've gotten a lot done in the last year. Maybe you were able to actually grow your business during the pandemic as opposed to losing. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot. You have to look at what you create, what you have created, and celebrate all of your little victories. Because the Five of Cups in reverse is telling me you will have in your life experience quite a few situations where you lose, I'm going to use the quote unquote symbols here, where you quote unquote lose because the divine has something else for you. And this is not a commentary on you choosing the wrong direction or something. It's about, that's part of your soul, what your soul came here to do. To have something, you quote unquote lose it, and the divine has something else for you to do. It's like how quickly and how readily can you give yourself over to the process of transmutation and say, okay, well, that part is done. Now we're on to the next thing, which is going to be also exciting and also reap a lot of rewards because the divine gave it to me. So how else is that supposed to turn out? Of course, it's going to bring me joy, happiness, prosperity, right? Because they gave it to me. And the ego needs to detach from what these cups were that spilled, because nothing is permanent, right? And you're always going to be creating and having the joy and starting anew with something that the divine has given you to do. And once you accept that kind of process, you will find yourself feeling much more balanced in life. It's what they're telling me. I'm going to take your final oracles. So we have the Queen of the Moon by Stacey DeMarco. And you have card number 44, Attraction. I'll read from the book. Oh, I really loved your reading, Virgo North Node. Such a nice energy, and I'm very excited for you to get into your cycle of flow. So 44, Supermoon, Attraction. You can be magnetic to others and attract the good things in life. You can repel what you no longer wish to attract. Be ready for opportunity. Avoid extremes that might cause negative imbalance in your body or mind. Think of connections greater than yourself. I can attract what I wish and repel what I do not. A supermoon is a full moon that is the closest distance from the Earth in its revolutions. It is also referred to as a perigee moon. The supermoon looks huge in the sky, and being so close to the Earth, it influences the oceans more than usual, causing more extreme tides than are normal. These changes in gravity and force are certainly noticeable, and for most people who follow the cycles of the moon and do magical workings aligned with them, it is the energy of supermoons that is the most important. If a normal full moon gives us an opportunity to have rocket power under our intentions, a supermoon greatly magnifies this energy into a supernova. If we are growing, we all want to attract experiences into our lives. This can be positive relationships, a lifestyle that suits us better, clarity, love, prosperity, creativity, the list goes on. Equally, we also perhaps wish to be able to repel the experiences we just don't want. it is important then to not just know what we want, but be able to recognize what we don't. Attraction isn't just about what we accept, but also how we discern. Blindly attracting everything we think into our lives rarely makes us happy, but being focused about it does. This card also suggests that we think globally and for the whole. If you are making intentions on the supermoon, include one for the planet. And the companion stone or metal is magnetite, if you are into crystals. So it's interesting that card came out, because we also had the don't think of everybody type of thing. And for this card, though, I'm also getting, it's, they want me to clarify in case that has become, a point of, but you said I shouldn't think about everybody. You can think about the big picture, like the global, peace on earth, end of hunger, these type of well wishes, right? But not, friend A is going to be mad at me if I don't go to the movies on Saturday, but, I actually prefer to stay home and work on my painting project, different. That is different. You're well-wishing for yourself, and you're well-wishing for the rest of the world. And attraction, and getting into attracting what you want into your life in a more focused manner, because you are more aware of what you want and what you do not want. And I love that you got the card of the supermoon and the moon card in your reading. It's really about examining your inner motivations for the month of May. I'm going to pull a couple cards from the messages from the guides deck. Trust your intuition. And there we go. Live your bliss. So those cards, I don't need to read what's in the book. They're pretty much straightforward. Yeah. Trust what you feel, and dare to just live completely in your blissful state. Or keep striving for it. Keep returning to it, as the Fool with her amethyst is saying. Keep returning to your blissful place. So, Virgo North Node, it went a bit longer than I had anticipated. Sorry to keep you so long, but I hope that you resonated with these messages, or rather these messages resonated with you, and I will see you again in a month's time. You can check out Grounding into Gaia, which is my new monthly series with channeled messages and a pick a card reading, all in connection with our Earth's consciousness. And I think that's all for promoting today. I wish you all the best. So take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.